Hello, once again, FantasyDaddy.com viewers. I'm Bowe Fertig alongside partner James Boyer, and today we are talking shortstops. And it has been a new face for shortstops, an uplift, I guess you can say. 5 out of the top 7 shortstop in ESPN ranked were chosen outside the top 100, so you could have waited on shortstops this year in the draft. Talking about Jean Segura, Everett Cabrera, Johnny Peralta, and Ian Desmond, J.J. Hardy. Out of those 5 guys that have been somewhat surprises this year, who do you see dropping, and who do you see succeeding in the second half?
I think Jean Segura probably stays at the #1 rank or #2 rank probably the whole season. I think he's going to sustain his average as well as runs. I do have a little concern with his power, though. In the minor leagues, he really never shown that raw power, really any power at all. He never had a season where he had over 10 home runs, and I believe now he has 11 home runs. So I think he could finish with the 2020 season this season if he is lucky. But I don't see him falling off. I would probably say my fall off would be Johnny Peralta. He's batting .300 right now. I think he probably could bat into like 270 range, would probably lower his player rank a little bit. I think his pop he does have some pop. I think he will probably end up with about 18 to 20 home runs, but I can see him falling more than all those guys.
Career .267 hitter. He was hitting like in the 330s for a while, but slowly kind of fall as the first half went on. You know, you talk about guys at the top like Segura and Everett Cabrera. These guys are #2. Everett Cabrera #2 with 34 stolen bases, and Segura with 27 stolen bases. So that's kind of giving them the edge as a top shortstop in the league. And you kind of, with these names, the Segura and the Cabreras, you kind of forget about the names that we were accustomed to seeing at shortstop. Troy Tulowitzki, Hanley Ramirez, Starlin Castro, Jose Reyes. You know, it's kind of a new generation of shortstop, I guess, which is a downfall for shortstop, or would you kind of just say it's kind of an evolutionary thing?
Definitely. You got to pass the torch. I mean, a lot of these guys, Tulowitzki's still young, and he's going to continue to produce. Hanley Ramirez he's going to continue to produce, but he's kind of towards his end of his career. His best years are behind him. I think guys like Ian Desmond would probably be the #1 ranked shortstop this year if it wasn't for Cabrera and Jean Segura's stolen bases. He's on his way to his second probably 2020 season. Last year he had 20 homers, 20 stolen bases. This season he has 10 stolen bases. He could get to 20. He's got 15 homers right now, which he definitely will get 20 homers. So I think Ian Desmond, a definite guy going into the second half to keep tabs on. He had a great second half season last season. He had 17 homers in the first half, and he ended up with 8 homers in 2012 season in the second half. But his OBP in the second half last season was about .380, and that shows that he's played discipline. He's not a guy that's going to go into the second half swinging it at everything, you know what I mean? So that's something to look for going into the second half.
One of the reasons why we're talking about these new faces is because the Jose Reyes and Troy Tulowitzkis have missed a large amount of games. You know, almost a third of the games within the past 3 years, both of these guys have missed. And once again, Troy Tulowitzki has missed a third of the season in the first half. Jose Reyes has missed a third of the season in the first half. But what's most surprising about that is Troy Tulowitzki is still ranked 4th out of all shortstops. And whether it be because where he plays at Coors Field, the guy is just a power hitter. He hits for average. And it's just whether the guy can stay healthy or not. And it's unfortunate because you look at guys like Hanley Ramirez, who all of a sudden are doing well at the end of the first half after being injured for half of it. Yeah. So a lot of these names that we're seeing at the top of the shortstop is because of health reasons. Yeah. Our next segment, we're going to get into Pick Your Pony. Del Mar races are they're in effect. The 3rd day, I believe it is. And they just opened up on Wednesday. So we're going to pick some ponies. New face, new school, Jean Segura, or old school Jose Reyes. Who do you go with?
Oh, man. That's definitely a tough one. I would have to say Jean Segura right now. Like I mentioned earlier, I don't think his power numbers are really going to be sustained. But I do know his speed is for real. His average is for real. I like Jose Reyes, and I think their numbers will be fairly similar. But I'm going with the young cat.
I like Reyes, .292 career hitter, 30 plus stolen bases last 3 years, excuse me. He just has he hits in a great lineup. I go Reyes because of the lineup. He's a leadoff hitter behind Edwin Encarnacion, Bautista, Adam Lynn, Colby Rasmus, and Segura's out with Aramis Ramirez and their best hitter,
Ryan Braun,
the big slugger. So give me Reyes for that. Next couple, Ian Desmond or Starlin Castro. Who do you go with?
I mentioned this earlier. I think Castro is struggling this year, and I don't think the second half. I think he's going to get better in the second half, but his numbers won't really show. Ian Desmond, like I mentioned earlier, he's going to be going the second 2020 season in a row. Like I mentioned earlier, his OBP is going to be a little bit higher in the second half. So I go Ian Desmond.
Starlin Castro, 200 hits in 2011. One of 3 shortstops to do that recently. Him, Jose Reyes, and Hanley Ramirez. So I'll take Starlin Castro in that case. Ian Desmond, like you said, hits in a great lineup, now hitting in the 2 spot in a great Washington National lineup in front of Harper, Zimmerman, and Worth. So that's always something to look forward to. Last couple, Johnny Peralta out of Detroit or J.J. Hardy in Baltimore. Who do you go with?
I got to go J.J. Hardy right here. First you got to consider the ballpark, the lineup. He's shown the power before in the past. He's had 30-plus home runs in a season. He's on pace to have 30-plus home runs this season. So I'm definitely going Hardy.
4 out of his 6 last seasons, 20-plus home runs. Career 258 hitters, so he's hitting 251 right now. It's about what you expect. I like Johnny Peralta, though. He's falling, but still, he hits 6 in a very potent lineup. Right behind Victor Martinez, Prince Fielder, Miguel Cabrera. Those are high-profile names in the offensive attack. So I'll take Peralta in that.